Hi, welcome back to Straight From My Roots, the show where we talk about people's roots to them.
My name is Lawson. I'm the second daughter of Reverend William and Mrs. Audrey Lawson. I'm a Houstonian, born here, and I run the nonprofit that carries their name, the William A. Lawson Institute for Peace and Prosperity. It operates the Lawson Academy, a public charter school for students starting in pre-K 3, going up to grade 8, and it also runs affordable housing for seniors. My dad created a church with my mom almost 63 years ago because we have concern for the community, both children and seniors. And I'm delighted to be here and to be able to speak with you, Anastasia, an example of the kind of success that I look forward to among students of all ages. Also, among children, it's great to see you.
Good to see you too. I have a question. What was it like whenever you were 9?
So I was born in 1957, and when I was 9, we were in the throes of the civil rights movement. My dad and the community of blacks were concerned that at that time there was complete segregation in Houston. So when I was born, we lived in a black community, and there were white people that lived in a white community, and the communities did not interact. And I went to an all-black school, and there were all white schools, and there were businesses that wouldn't let blacks come in, and the buses were segregated. And so it was a very, very different time when I was a child. In the mid-1960s, the civil rights movement began. Have you heard about the civil rights movement? What do you know about the civil rights movement?
I know that Martin Luther King was a part. I know that there was a lot of, there is schools where only white children could go, and there's only places that black kids could go, and there's only places where white kids could go. Yeah, I learned that in school.
So in order to change that and allow children from all races to go to the same schools, we had to force the white institutions to integrate. And there was a reason that they didn't want to integrate. Do you know why they didn't want to integrate? They were afraid. They were afraid that if black people came to the school, it would make the schools worse. And they were afraid that if white people interacted with black people, that the black people would cause harm to the white people. So they were afraid. And we had to help them understand that we weren't a race of animals, we were just human beings. And we had to help them understand that we were people just like they were. So the civil rights movement was all about having nonviolent opportunities to introduce blacks to whites. So we fought and we presented ourselves in ways. We marched on schools. We had boycotts to make them realize you had to pay attention to the black community. You couldn't just ignore them and always push them into the back. And when Houston Independent School District in Houston was integrated, it was integrated nonviolently. There were no riots, there were no shootings, there were no fights, but it happened over a period of years, forcing the local schools to increase the ability of blacks to attend. And it finally got done, but it wasn't easy because the whites didn't want that. And we had to continue to fight that fight. My dad was a very good friend of Martin Luther King Jr. And we had Martin come to Houston. He spoke at our church. He spoke in the Coliseum, which is long gone now. And we brought him because we were, in my family, part of the civil rights movement. And we made that change to cause integration to occur in Houston. Now, before, when I first started elementary school, all schools were black or white. And then there came a time when we integrated. The school district integrated, and a black student could go to a white school, and a white student could go to a black school. And that happened when I was in the 6th grade. So right around the time that I was about 11 or 12 years old, That's when HISD integrated. And that's when I was able to go to a school that it was in a white neighborhood that had white teachers, and I was allowed to go to that school. Do you think it was easy?
No.
What do you think happened? Tell me what you think.
I think that the kids were kind of rude to you because of your skin color.
Yeah, that happened. And the people in the neighborhood shouted at us on the sides of the street. We would walk to school and they would shout at us and call us names. And the teachers didn't always like us. Wasn't easy, but it had to happen because it isn't fair, right? To segregate and keep black children from learning. It's important for all children to have a chance to learn. Would you agree?
Yes.
Okay.
So if for the viewers listening, if you had to tell them some advice, what would you tell them?
I would say there are very good role models for how to effect change. Martin Luther King was an excellent role model, and he said that we fight nonviolently. Another good role model is Mahatma Gandhi, who Martin Luther King followed. Have you ever heard of Mahatma Gandhi?
Yes.
Okay. Another good role model was Nelson Mandela, who also fought nonviolently. So I believe that if I had to tell people, what do? You stand up for right, you don't back down, and you fight.
That's very good advice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Body does it better.